browsing some Reddit. Let's be the judge. 13 upvotes. Let's see what they have to say. My 30M, so the author is 30-year-old male. My mom passed away about 4 months ago. I live in a different state, not drivable, and my wife and I almost spent almost a month in the state I grew up in around her death. As you can expect, we spent a lot of time with family during that month. My mom had been sick for a while, so it was surprising it happened so soon, but it was not unexpected. My wife and I don't have kids and have been married for a bit over a year. Since we moved in together over 5 years ago, we haven't spent a Christmas apart, and I've always been with my family for Christmas. Mostly due to the fact that I have a strong relationship with my family, and she doesn't. I really like spending Christmas with my family, and she doesn't really want to go to her family's, where it's cold and further away. That's not to say she wants to spend it with my family, though. This year, we hadn't decided on our Christmas plans. Initially, we had thought we would just spend it the two of us where we live, maybe doing a weekend trip. This was her idea and preference, as I wanted to be with my family, or at least her family over the holidays. For me, Christmas is a time to be with family. However, the closer it gets to Christmas, the more I want to be with my family. My dad said he would really appreciate us being there, as it helped my family continue to heal. My wife is opposed to going. She has developed flight anxiety and questions how much of a few days on the holiday will let us heal. Also, she said we spend a lot of time this year and have always spent Christmas with them. Last week, we had an argument about this as I expressed my desire to spend Christmas with my family. A few days after the argument, I said I was okay with to stay where we live and do a small trip with just my wife. She said I could make my decision if I really wanted to go, or I think she said something to that effect. Today, we talked about it again, and I said I'd prefer to spend it with my family. I know how hard this Christmas will be for my dad, as the holidays were always a festive, important time for my family. My wife got upset and said she now knows that I think it's more important for my dad to have all 4 of his kids home for the holidays than 3 out of 4. I feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't want to leave my wife on Christmas, but I know the Christmas will be the hardest Christmas for my dad, and want to be there when he needs it the most. I wish my wife would just suck it up for 1 more year and spend a few days with my family. But that doesn't seem feasible. Am I the asshole for choosing my family over my wife? I'm gonna go with no. You're not this guy is not an asshole for that. This is a huge Christmas for that dad. It's the first one without his wife, and it would make a huge difference for the kids to be 3 out of 4 instead of 4 out of 4 being there. I understand where his wife is coming from, where she just wants to focus on the 2 of them. I get that. But she is being pretty unreasonable given the circumstances. Oh, these are fun. Okay, this next one is tagged as, yeah, Paul sounds so bogus, fuck Paul. This next one sounds like they're the asshole, or that's what they're tagged as. Am I the asshole for wanting my mom's wedding through the groom wanting to go to my mom's wedding, though the groom called my wife ugly? My mom is getting married soon, and I'm happy for her despite not particularly liking the guy. She was pretty much a single mom because my dad didn't give a shit about me. She did everything and gave me the best childhood. We aren't super close right now because there is some tension between her and my wife. No one is really being mean, they just don't gel. But I still want to go to her wedding and show support. She's really happy for the first time I can remember. Anyway, the issue is about a year and a half ago, my wife overheard the guy my mom is marrying call her ugly. My mom was asking how to crop a picture on her phone. He didn't know my wife was around and asked if she wanted him to crop her ugly bull face out. My wife was beyond devastated. She came to me in tears and I confronted him. I honestly lost my shit and screamed at him. He did apologize and he kept saying he didn't know she was around, as if that was supposed to make it any better. My wife has never forgiven him and feels embarrassed to be around him. So as a result, we don't do holidays or anything with my mom. My mom visits occasionally without him, but is pretty busy, so we don't see her much. She has implied this is ridiculous and my wife needs to get over it. When my mom invited us to the wedding, I knew my wife wouldn't want to go and supported that. But then she dropped the bombshell that she doesn't want me to go. She said it would feel like a betrayal and I should stand by her to show my mom that she is wrong for marrying such an asshole and that my wife is my priority. I tried to gently explain that I can't. I don't necessarily agree, but I feel my mom deserves to finally be happy and I want to be there for her. I said I still plan on attending and my wife was furious. As of right now, no, I think I'm going, but I don't know what I should do. Well, hot take. This guy is not the asshole. In my opinion, I don't think he is. Given the context of just this post, it's a shitty thing, 100%, what the groom did. But that doesn't take away the entirety of what the mother had done for the son. It's like, or done for their child. I shouldn't assume. Yeah, I don't think OP is an asshole. I don't think it's as basic as let's just get over this. It does need to be addressed. Like, and apparently it was addressed, but with a half apology from the groom, which that doesn't help. But you can still support one of the marriage participants without supporting others. Let them have their happy day. If it's not meant to be, it'll end. Am I the asshole for letting my dog poop in someone else's yard? Just the title. Yes, you're an asshole if you don't pick it up. I don't give a shit if you pick it up. Why would I care? Edited to add, putting this at the top for everyone who keeps saying I was trespassing. I looked up the GIS property map. I was solidly in the easement, not on private property. Regardless, I want to be neighborly, so I'm sending angry neighbor an apology note, regifting restaurant card I'm not planning on using as an attempt to make peace. That makes me think you're more of an asshole. Let's be the judge. Context: I live in a house with no fenced yard and decided to adopt a rescue dog anyway because my husband and I both live pretty active lives and felt we could get him adequate exercise on a leash. We've had him for about 2 months so far and it's going great. We walk and bike with him daily, and we always take doggy bags attached to a leash so he can do his business and we can be respectful by cleaning up after him. Today, I was out on a bike ride with him. He runs alongside my bicycle, and I noticed he had to poo. Excuse me. It was bad enough that it was actually starting to poke out of his butt, so we pulled over and he pooed in the nearest yard. At this point, Angry Neighbor, abbreviated AN, who I didn't realize is sitting in his car watching this happen, starts honking his horn at us, and then he gets out posturing like he's about to beat me up. I've actually been attacked before while out on my bike, so it was scary. The exchange went a little like this. Me, waving and smiling as soon as he gets out of the car. Hi, so sorry, I'm going to clean it up. Angry Neighbor, screaming. Why are you letting your dog shit in the middle of my yard? Me, I'm very sorry, sir. This is just where he went. I'm going to clean it up. Angry Neighbor, well, he only goes where you let him go. Me, I'm not sure what the problem is. I said I would clean it up. The dog finishes pooping at this point. Angry Neighbor, the problem is you let your dog shit in the middle of my yard. Me, I'm very sorry, sir. I'm not sure what we can do about it now, except I'm going to clean it up like I said I would. I proceed to get a bag, clean the poo, and drop the bag in my bike pannier. The man turns and gets back into his car. My dog and I ride away. I am on the autism spectrum, so I might be missing some important social rule here, but is it actually bad etiquette to let your dog poop in someone's yard if you clean it up immediately? I think maybe Angry Neighbor was the asshole for needlessly intimidating a woman over what I see as a non-issue. Why I might be the asshole. I guess it was disrespectful of Angry Neighbor's property. I don't see many alternatives here, though. I suppose I could plan my route differently and try to only ride on streets with grassy median so my dog has a place to go that's not a private property. Excuse me. It may not be totally feasible in our neighborhood, and the dog's bowels are not solely under my control, but I could try it. Honestly, though, the interaction frightened me, so I want to know, am I the asshole? ETA, I don't know what that means. I think it's edit. The dog was on a leash the entire time. We walked maybe 6 feet from the road into the yard. It was not precise middle of the yard, maybe a quarter of the way in. It was near a utility water access point for the yard, if that matters. Update, looks like the top judgment is I'm the asshole for reasons I hadn't considered. Thank you for those. They were helpful and respectful. The person may have had children that play in the yard, etc., and it could be considered trespassing. To me, dog poo is roughly the same offensiveness as bird poo, so if the roles were reversed, I would have not bothered in the slightest. A few people suggested writing an apology note, and I think I'll do that. Honestly, I didn't mean to be disrespectful, assumed cleaning it up would be adequate manners-wise, same as if a kid happened to have an accident somewhere. Someone also suggested training the dog to go on the asphalt instead of grass. I'm going to try that as well. He is a little sniff addict and seems to want to sniff out the perfect place to go, even if it's already coming out of his butt. I literally have seen him suck it back in before, and if he doesn't deem a place adequate, but I'm going to try nonetheless. Final verdict, asshole, 55-40. Are you serious, Reddit? Why are they the asshole?